think we are live now. So let's see. Yeah, we are live.
Hello, people from the present and the future.
So playing with Erlang and Zig. Have you noticed my keyboard being different?
Yeah, it does sound a little bit different,
Yeah,
slightly.
I'm using my previous switches. Okay,
Ooh,
so let's go. Erlang Interface User's Guide. The Erlang Interface library contains functions that help you integrate programs written in C and Erlang. And we're gonna read this as an extension to also Zig. Uh, Manipulation of data represented as Erlang data types, conversion of the data between C and Erlang formats, encoding and decoding of Erlang data types for transmission of storage, communication between C nodes and Erlang processes, which is, I think, the issue is what we are looking for.
yes, because we want the front end to be written in Zig, and we want it to communicate with our backend, which will be in Erlang, and ideally, we don't want to use HTTP for that.
Yeah. So, requirements is assume that the reader is familiar with the Erlang programming language. That's not a good assumption, friend. Uh, So to use any of the Erlang interface functions, include the following line in our code. So we need this thing. So where do we get this? Um, so can I do something like this? No, apparently.
No,
File. Uh,
that's not it either.
Erlang
Either.
AHC file. There you go. Yeah, but how
Oops.
do I get it?
I
This is
think
this
it's
specification. Is this the file? Do we have this file
yes,
already?
probably it should come with Erlang, right?
Oh, here. We do have the file. Oh
Oh
no, no,
no,
no.
that's
This
not.
is from the example. That's not what we
That's from
want.
the example. We want the header actually.
Yeah. You said if it comes with Erlang. No, it definitely doesn't because this is in quotes. Um, so for sure it doesn't. But here it
To
is though.
compile, well, wait, go back. Determine where the top directory of your OTP installation is. Uh, Find it, starts Erlang, and enter the following commands. And then to
Oh, it
compile
is
your
teaching us
code,
how to get it though. That's good money.
yeah,
So how do you do that? You do the read by 3 shell?
I think so. And it should have been booted already. Just hit enter because it printed some stuff after the prompt.
Uh, Hoot
Root
dir.
directory.
That's not. Oops, that's not
Don't
there.
forget, yeah.
Of course, it is within Nix's store. It needs to be. So let's do an ls on this thing. That's very interesting. So there is also something called lib and Erl interface. What is in there? Then include.
Include.
And there it
And there it
is.
is. There it
So we're
is.
gonna do uh, cp on this ah to client ah. So if I open Emacs, we now have this file. This
We now
seems to
have
be
this
a
file.
library, header-only library. We have some structs. We probably also have functions in here. We have the function declarations, but I want to see the function bodies. Oh, we don't have function bodies in here. Interesting. Well, that sucks. Let's continue reading the documentation. Why did it go all the way down? I didn't ask to do that. So to compile your code, ensure that C compiler knows where this is. Um, and you can find it like this. But it's also saying that I should include this in my file. Apparently, my file is also called myprog.c. When linking, specify that you want to use this. So we have what is this? This is a library, right?
It's the compiled version of the library,
Yeah.
the compiled archive.
So then you link it by hand using LD. That's cool. So you may have to do extra stuff. We don't care. If we use the Erlang functions in a threaded application based on POSIX threads, that still doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm compiling only the header, and the header doesn't have any sort of in, implementations, right? It's literally just a header. It's not a header-only library. It is literally a header, normal header in C. Then we compile our program. Our program is only including, is not utilizing this, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, this is literally a random C program that does whatever, and it happens that it is including this. But it's not
Oh,
utilizing any of these functions, because as we saw, we have functions declarations in there.
well, you can use them. I think the point is that you have the header, right? So you compile the
Oh,
program and then
this.
you link it afterwards.
Okay, so you can use it. But that's kind of not, well, I guess we're gonna have to make Nix understand this thing at some point. Do we
No,
want to
when linking,
let's be honest to the tutorial. So let's make my prog. Do you want to go straight up to myprog.zig?
we can try, I guess. Uh,
Or do
why
we want
not?
to?
Let's do it.
Why not? Uh, okay.
Uh, the,
So
the,
we want now to check something like hello world Zig, because I still have to understand this language in order to write it myself. So there you go. So we have this thing, right? And how do you do the import? Do you do this? And then a dot h. How do you import C stuff?
how do you import C stuff? That's actually a little bit different. If you take a look, go to GitHub, go to the Lyceum repo, and go to the parts hand translated branch. And there's an
Sure,
example of that there.
sure. So let's go to the repo. Uh, this lack of loading is terrible. There, there. Hand translate. Uh,
Just open the file, it's easier.
sure. View file. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, so you do it like this. Does this also work for like no other headers? Because you were importing C files. Can I do whatever?
Yeah, you can import a header, no problem.
So H there, and then we can just
I
say that this is A. Why not? Okay, that works. And then we need to compile, right? That's what the documentation is telling us to do. So what is the alternative version of this thing, right? So there. We need to transform this into a Zig command line, right? So according to the
right.
hello world example, we need to do Zig uh, build
Well,
xz. Is this for Linux as well?
yes,
Sure.
it's short for build executable.
Yeah, sure.
And
So then we do
that's
this.
to differentiate it from build lib in case you want to build a library, you see?
hmm Oh, but we don't want to linking, right? Maybe this is also doing linking for us. We want to have the equivalent of
No,
just
no,
calling
no, no,
GCC.
no. But you can actually do the linking as well. Like in one command line. You just have to do the same dash I to do the includes to actually make the includes directory available, right?
That's a problem actually, right? We need to copy this for this particular crap.
Yeah, we do. We
Okay,
do.
so we're gonna get this. Then we're gonna get rid of all of this nonsense. Copy it in here. It seems to be this.
Uh,
And then my prog.zig. Is this how you do it?
I think we may be missing the directive to also include the C standard library, which I assume the header uses. And to do that, you just do dash lowercase l c.
Like this.
Yeah,
If
because
we're
you're.
linking, we also can do this.
Yeah, sure.
So that what are the
We
flags that we need
may,
here?
we may also want.
Oh, wait a moment. The paths to do the compilation and the linking are different, friend. We need to include both. Oh dear.
They are
uh,
different.
yeah, they are different. One of them is going include, and the other one is doing lib.
Oh, no, wait, it doesn't.
It is, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, one of them is going to Erlang blah 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 include, and the other one is doing Erlang blah 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 lib.
But isn't the lib in a different.
It is exactly the same path, aside from the final folder. So theoretically speaking, I should just in Nick's store should be exactly the same place. So I should just do this.
Get rid of the include, right?
No, and put not only that, and put lib here. The Zig also follows this pattern here.
It does, but if you omit the dash O, it derives the myprog by stripping away the .zig extension.
Which is fine. Um, so now the question is, do we need to also pass the name of the object file?
No, because you are passing the source anyways.
So is this the line? Can I press enter?
I think you can. Let's see if it breaks or not.
Oh,
Not
of course,
found.
of course, of course. It did something.
Did something.
My
There's my
prog.
prog.
That's it. Thank you guys. I'm gonna see you next time. No, that's next
Ah,
time.
yeah, but
Ah.
okay, here's the thing. I'm not sure if that actually tells us if we actually imported. And clearly, it did find the header, and okay. I'm not sure if that actually tells us if it's being imported correctly, because
No, but
here's the
that's
thing.
fine. We're gonna discover this
No,
shortly.
but here's the thing. Uh, Unlike most other compilers, the Zig compiler is actually lazy.
Oh. Even without optimizations, you are assuming that it is removing the thing.
No, it is lazy, actually. That's part, it has to be, right? Because you can do uh, arbitrary checks at compile time by using comp time. But if you do a conditional, if you want to do conditional compilation, like say if we are compiling for Windows, then I don't know, compile error because our library doesn't support Windows.
Sure.
If the compiler was not lazy, that compile error would be executed no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be lazy in order to work.
Sure. I have a question though. A little bit different than what you're talking about. We have to make a choice here. If there is some gains in maintaining this file in C, then we can remove it and just use Nix to do this sort of nonsense that I'm doing it by hand here. If there is a gain in having this in a Z format, instead of having it as a C header, then we transform this to Zig, keep it, and then we don't have to mess around with with Nix store.
It's better to just keep the C header. There is a way to write a build file, a build script actually in Zig And that might help with the dealing with the Nick start stuff.
I don't think it
Uh,
will.
but, but we can get to that when we get to that, I think.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it will because I don't think outside of the flake we can get it that this information. Aside of doing a find in the user's machine, which is not ideal at all.
Um,
Uh, so sure. So
no,
let's
but
continue here.
what I mean, no, yeah, but what I mean is like you don't have to actually hard code the path, right?
No,
Because
no,
the
no. We're not gonna hard
presume
code. I'm gonna put the
because
flake and I'm gonna use the same trick that we did for chime. Because if you notice, in the flake of chime, we don't have to we don't hard code this anymore. It is
right,
inside the flake asking for the packages, and the packages know how to traverse the Nix store. And then we just ask for like, give me the include for this. This entire thing will be like a derivation, right? So you're gonna do packages dot erlang slash or dot include, and then you're gonna create this line here. But this entire thing will be like string formatted to use the packages from Nix, and then
yeah,
this is going to be uh, special, unique for each individual that is running the thing. The way that I'm doing right now, I'm just doing this because it's the first time.
right,
Okay.
right.
So, but let's continue here. So, data sent between distributed Erlang nodes is encoded in the Erlang external format, which is what we decided to use, right? We're not going to use
Right,
HTTP.
right,
We must
right.
therefore encode and decode Erlang terms into byte streams if you want to use the distribution protocol to communicate between C program and Erlang. The library supports this activity. It has several C functions that create and manipulate Erlang data structures. Um, I have a concern.
Yeah,
Uh, so these functions will be functions in C, right?
yeah,
And we're going to use a lot of them, I believe. So
yeah.
are we sure we want to keep it as C and not translate them to Zig?
But Zig can actually call the C functions
No,
directly,
yes, but
even.
my concern is that we're going to pollute most of our Zig code with this thing.
Uh,
Because you're going to use these all the time, I think. I feel.
I don't see much of a problem actually.
The problem is that we want to code in Zig, not in C. That's the problem. Although I don't know how to fix this at first glance, because these function implementations are in we are using dash LEI, right? Which is where we get the .a with the implementations. We only have easy access to the header to transform it to Zig. To
Yeah.
make the entire thing Zig instead of C, we would have to somehow grab the C
But it's
file.
no, we don't need to. Like, unlike Rust, which has the slogan "rewrite it in Rust," right? Because you want the entire thing to be in Rust, so you can use the borrow checker, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Zig's slogan is actually maintain it in Zig, because you can replace C code with Zig code piecemeal. You don't have to do it all at once. You can have C code and Zig code mixed in the same code base, no
No,
problem.
but you said the wrong expression. You said peak like you're gonna have a mix of a little bit of C and most Zig. But I think we're gonna have the opposite. We're gonna have a little bit of Zig, just a tiny bit,
No,
and
no, 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 no. Look. Zig, the inspiration for Zig is basically okay, I want to use C because it's a good language, it's very portable, it's ridiculously portable. But C has problems, so let's fix those problems. And that's Zig in a nutshell.
oh, okay. Even if we wanted to do what I said, it seems that would
I
be a
mean,
lot of work.
we certainly can, but it's like, why do it? We don't. Like, we have those headers from Erlang, right? Because Erlang has a C interface. We want to use them from Zig, which we can very trivially because Zig can just import C code, no problem. We can make an interface that has nicer types if you want, but That's like, yeah, we don't actually need to do that. We can just call the C functions directly.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with the situation that I just described. We're gonna have most C and doing less Zig, which is okay then, if that's what we are looking for.
No,
I
I
was
mean
not really looking
we
for
can
that, but okay.
we can certainly, if you want, we can certainly make a nicer like interface using the Zig types, but the problem is that Erlang, the header apparently has a custom type for a buffer, which I doubt it's just a pointer.
Of course. Anyway, I think it's okay, especially because as we just saw, that would be a ton of work apparently. Even if we use the automatic crap, it would be kind of like very bloated and very hellish to work with. So we already have all of these C things, and if it happens that you're gonna write more C than Zig, so be it.
But
Uh,
that's the thing. You don't have to actually write C. You can call the C libraries from Zig, like as if they were native Zig code. It's just the types will be a little bit different.
okay. The following example shows how to create an encode an Erlang tuple. So there is a struct that they made for a buffer. The new
Yep,
is probably a malloc or some sort of
probably.
initialization. So then you create an integer for some random reason. Yeah, completely random reason. Then
Why?
you encode a tuple header. Then you encode an atom, and then you encode a long integer, I believe, which is this number here. And then we have a description of the module. And then we have all the functions, which is not a lot, actually. They dedicated most of the work to serialization, as you can see, which they should, because I don't want to touch it. Uh,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's
building
very fair,
terms.
actually.
The previous example can be simplified by using this function to create an Erlang term. Um,
Oh, I see. So it's like a format string, except you write Erlang with some holes that you can fill in with some C values.
yes, yes. For a complete description of the different format directives, read this. The following example is more complex. Um, sure, sure.
Okay, so
Okay, so
it's
let's actually pick this example here. Do we want to do that though? Do we want to grab this and then go to here? I don't think this is going to be useful for the next section. As in the previous examples, it is your responsibility to free the memory allocated for Erlang terms. In this example, this ensures that the data pointed to by buff is released. Okay, so we also have the burden of to do the memory management, which is expected. I was
which
not
is expected, but it's actually easier in Zig than it is in C because Zig has the fur.
which is cool, which is very cool. Um,
Very handy.
to connect to a distributed. Oh, okay, so it's not a full example though. It's not showing us any Erlang. Why? Why?
I think the point is that from Erlang's perspective, this would be indistinguishable from an Erlang module.
I don't care. I want to see how to connect, how to make a distributed Erlang node connection. And part of the battle, aside from having a client, is having a server. Why it's not showing me how to make the server, the minimal amount of code to make an Erlang server?
Because it said at the beginning that it assumes that the reader is somewhat familiar with Erlang.
No, it says that it's assuming that you are familiar with the Erlang programming language. That doesn't mean that I'm familiar on how to write a server in Erlang. Because now we're going to have to finish this tutorial and then discover how to do that instead of the tutorial telling us the entirety of it. To connect to a distributed Erlang node, you must first initialize the connection routine with one of the Erlang connect init functions, which stores information such as the host name and the node number for later use. So this is where we're going to actually copy paste the code. So So how does that work? We'll do establish. It's a snake case, right?
Yeah.
Establish
Actually,
connection.
yeah, I would say go with snake case. The actual official quote unquote naming convention for Zig is kind of nonsense, to be honest. Just use snake case, it's better.
Okay. So now I know I need to learn how to do types in Zig. So types.
Oh, that's the actual documentation.
Integers. Oh, so I don't tell it. It's just gonna infer.
It does have type inference, but actually, in those cases, the type is comp time int, because
But
those integers are compile time constants.
yeah, but how do I say that?
You just say const. And if you want to do an explicit type annotation, you say const, you say the name of the thing, and then you say colon in the type.
And how do I type what you said?
We can do I32, I guess.
Oh, it's like Rust, like this.
I21 is a valid type, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So I'm just gonna do for the first one, just to remind myself on how to do it. So how do you do strings?
Uh,
5 minutes. Let's count. Oh, it's just a var. Okay, so the difference between a var and a const is the same as like in JavaScript?
no. You can say const instead, actually. Um, the difference
I'm
between
gonna
const and var has to do
assume
with mutability, actually.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
So
say constant var. Const var.
you can say no. You can just say const, no var.
No var. So what is the difference semantically in Zig between const and var?
Okay. When you say const, you say this is a value. This is an immutable value. Um, you cannot mutate it. Like if you take a pointer to it, you can't use the pointer to write to the value. You can only read.
Okay, so this is
Just
read
say
only.
yeah, this is read only. If you say var, then you say okay, this actually is a storage location and it's initialized to this, but it is a storage location, which means I can set it to something else as long as it's the same type.
Okay. So
Oh,
one is mutable and the other one is not.
yes, exactly.
Okay. So there is a new
Uh,
pointer in there.
yeah, that's not gonna fly. Zig actually has a different pointers in Zig by default are not actually nullable.
Okay,
So
so if I search new in Zig, what's gonna happen?
you have to go scroll down the sidebar. There's a optionals. Yeah.
Ah, but um, that's a problem though, because we want to have a string which starts with the initial value of null. So, um, would it work if I just type annotate this as a string and just let it like this? What does this mean?
It's nonsense actually because they're saying, okay, here's a constant. It has a type string, which I'm not sure if that's a valid type alias or not. It might be, but you're not actually saying what the value is. That's not gonna work. In Zig,
Uh,
you cannot say, okay, here's a memory location, and I'm not going to initialize it. You actually have to be explicit and say, okay, here's a memory location. Here's the value. If I don't have a value and I don't want to write a value, I have to say that explicitly and say undefined.
wait, the value?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm gonna mutate this, right? So this needs to be a var.
it needs to be a var.
And you said that I need to say undefined here.
Yeah,
Why? What was the debate
because
between this and null?
no. Undefined and null are different things. When you say undefined, you're saying, okay, here's a memory location. I plan to mutate this later, so I don't care what the value is right now.
Sure.
You could instead say, okay, here's a memory location, I'm going to initialize it to 0. That's a thing you can do. But you have to keep in mind that initializing to 0 may have a cost.
Yes.
And if you say
Wait, they don't
undefined,
have strings as a type of notation?
no, you don't, I
Add
think.
string to the type system. Okay, this was 3 years ago. So they did it probably. How do I type annotate this madness though?
I'm pretty sure that a string in Zig is actually an array of U weights, and it's no terminated for compatibility with C.
So you wait like this? Is this how you do that?
Um, no, actually, an array, because it's an array, it needs to have an explicit size in the type. Uh, in
But we
an
don't
array,
know
it does
that.
know that exactly. Um, okay, here's the thing. That cookie, it will be initialized, right?
It won't.
By
It's new.
no. It will be initialized by the connect call, right? Later. On the
Uh, I have no idea. We need to see what this does.
well, considering that it takes the pointer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a const sharp pointer. It's not a wait.
And what the
Const
mother
sharp.
flipper is this also?
I don't know. Maybe time of no actually means the time right now. I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. Not
I think
sure.
that
We will
makes
have to
sense.
look
I
into
think
that.
that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Okay, so it takes a pointer. Oh, I see. It's meant to. Oh, I don't see.
You don't.
It's a
That's
const.
funny.
Uh, const sharp pointer. Wait, but this is actually sharp pointer cookie is a secret cookie string, and then const sharp pointer cookie is no.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure what that actually means in C.
No, that means that you have a pointer that points to null, but it's being interpreted as a string. That's what it means.
No, no, I don't know. Because 2 lines above you say, okay, cookie is a sharp pointer and it's this, and
Oh yeah,
then
and I just noticed this is also the same name. Okay.
yes, that's the same name. That's why I'm confused.
Ah, I see what your confusion is, where your confusion is coming from. I see. Oh well. uh,
Yeah, that ain't gonna fly. Zig actually forbids shadowing.
oh really? That's a hot take.
Oh, it does. It does.
No, but then we are well. Ideally, we should know what the heck this means. Why do we need to do char cookie? I think this, whatever you're doing later, this is very deep sea stuff, right? Very deep sea stuff. Wait, my understanding is that you are basically trashing this string, right? Is that correct, what I said?
Yeah, apparently you're shadowing it, right?
Well,
Or
you first
either
create a
shadow.
string and then you pick the point that is pointing to it and say, forget about it. Like,
Char pointer string is secret cookie string, and then you say const char pointer string is no.
there needs to be some secret because this is happening also here in creation. You start with creation being one, then you do it as a short, and then you do time null plus one. Why did you do it like this then? What the crap? This is so weird, bro. So weird.
Uh,
So what are we gonna assume here? Marinho?
I'm not sure actually. Um,
You're not sure? Okay, so I have absolutely no idea.
we need to look at actually the documentation for the, like, not the tutorial, the reference, whatever that is, and see what that function actually does and what it expects.
The connect init function?
Yes, that one.
Um,
Oh, it says for more information, see. Oh, you have that open already.
I don't think this function is available for reading though, because the C, this is in alphabetical order, and there's no connect in here. Maybe, oh, no, yeah, maybe this is not in alphabetical. No, it seems to be, oh, it's a folder. So connect init here. Um, sure. Is this an
I think
example of a previous one? Yes, this is
I think
a
yeah, it's lower.
oh, here it is. Initializes the EC structure to identify the node name and cookie of the server. One of them must be called before other functions that works with this. So the cookie is literally the cookie of the node. Creation identifies a specific instance of a C node. It can help prevent the node from receiving messages sent to an earlier process with the same register name. Oh, there's more. Okay, so this is overloaded.
How sad.
Why?
Because that means that actually you have to. What is it overloaded by actually? Scroll up a little bit so we can look at the signature again.
No, it has many signatures. It has the connect init. It has the init
Oh,
to
it has
receive
several names. I see. I see.
x init. Yeah, overloading C works by copy boilerplating, basically. But you see that they have a single description for all of them. So there is definitely boilerplate going on. Yeah, but
I
we don't care
see.
about these ones right now. We don't care. Um, oh, this is an example. This is an example. So I think we can get rid of the null stuff. Because look, it's passing just strings. Passing just strings.
Yeah.
What the crap? Wait,
Right.
what is this?
It's the address of the address.
No, you didn't get it. There's something really weird going on.
Why?
You're calling a function, and in the middle of the arguments, you're passing a semicolon. Um,
Oh, yeah. That seems wrong somehow.
no, maybe this is not wrong because there's many semantics of what these symbols mean in C. Um, I'm not quite sure what the heck this does. So
That
what
looks
do
like that looks like a mistake.
you didn't notice at first? I was immediate
Eh,
like, what the heck is this? What
Dude,
is
I'm used to reading Lisp. I'm not used to looking at punctuation because there isn't punctuation in Lisp.
Uh, somebody would argue that you are, but instead of being commas and these are parentheses and brackets.
Yeah, granted, there are parentheses and brackets, but there isn't punctuation in between stuff like that,
Okay, so before
like
the
commas and
cookie
stuff.
you pass. Oh, this is xinit. So this is not the function that we aim to use. This is this one.
That one.
And this one has before the cookie an address. Yeah, so this does indeed seem like a mistake. This should not be a semicolon. It should be a comma.
Yeah,
Well,
comma.
and in any case, I think this answers the question. We don't need to care about the nonsense.
That's
Uh,
nonsense indeed.
so this can go. I think we can do the same here. So do you know a library that allows me to ask for the time, the current time?
Current time. Zig. I think there's a helper for that in the STD library somewhere. We just have to find it.
Okay, so std zig time. Uh, sure. Namespaces. Is there a time? Yes. So current. It doesn't give
Go
me crap.
go
Oh,
down to the
there's types.
go down to the functions. Go down to the functions.
Micro sleep timestamp. Uh, so how do you do this? Do you do like timestamp, and then this?
Yeah, as you would expect. You just
So const on it. So now the question: how do you invoke a struct from C?
that's not actually. Yeah, you're basically saying, okay, here's a memory location. I'm not gonna fill it in. So you have to say var, and then you have to say ei
EC.
dot ei. Actually, that's the name we gave it above, right?
Uh-huh. But isn't
Yeah.
it like I was imagining something like this?
Yes, it's exactly that actually.
Cool. So then we can say this. And how do you do the stuff from now on? Like, how do I pass an address? Is like this?
Yes, it's like that. It's just 10% the same thing as C. Strings are actually a pointer type, and in particular, you don't need to take the address of a string because it's already a pointer. So
So
that checks out.
these two are okay, and the creation is also okay.
It should be, yeah, because well, kinda. We're taking a timestamp and adding one to it. So that might overflow, but we don't care about that at this point.
We don't care. Um, question. Is there any sort of like return, or is this enough for this void?
That's enough for the void, actually. If you just do a bunch of side effects and don't have an explicit return, it just returns void, as you would expect.
Okay. So going back to the documentation. Um, After initialization, you set up the connection to the Erlang node. To specify the Erlang node you want to connect, use the this connect
Only of
family of
functions.
functions. The following example sets up the connections and is to
And
result
a
in a valid socket file
socket
descriptor.
file descriptor. Oh, it uses a socket. It's a
No,
file descriptor, I
I was
see.
imagining you that you would use a socket. Like this is C.
No, but it
Uh,
actually returns a file descriptor, so you can do normal file manipulation on it, right?
Prepare. I have another question. What if I want to return this thing here? No. C nodes like this. Could I do that?
Yeah, you can just say return EC semicolon.
Fn. This is established connection. So I'm gonna receive. I'm gonna assume it's like Rust. So I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna receive this, and this
Uh,
will do void. That's not what I want.
actually, here's the
Yeah.
thing. Do we will need to mutate the C node value or not?
Um, no clue at all. It depends on what the heck this does. I'm assuming
Because
that
if we
because it wants a pointer, this will mutate the stuff.
so we should take a pointer actually instead of taking the C nodes directly.
But
Just put an
uh,
asterisk in front of the type.
asterisk or a percent?
Asterisk.
Really? This is how you say that this is a pointer?
Yeah, you're basically saying this is a pointer to this type.
I didn't like it. Why this symbol? Weird.
Because, well, because that's what you use for the pointer type in C, right?
No, this is how you dereference a pointer in C.
No, no, no. It is the same symbol used for the pointer type. It's just that in C, that's a suffix symbol instead of a prefix.
Oh, you mean when you do stuff like char star?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that it's prefix, it's like, ugh, this is so unintuitive. And I'm not talking
No, it's
about the
just
Rust perspective. I'm talking about from a C perspective. This should not be star because this is an address. So I'm expecting to see ampersands.
no, ampersand is the address of operator. It takes a name and returns the pointer. Well, it takes a value actually, and it returns a pointer to that value, right? But it is not actually a type. It's an operator.
But that doesn't matter. You are defining the type system. If you have the freedom to define, and I just noticed that this is wrong. If you have the freedom to define your own type
Um,
system,
the name
and
of the node type is also wrong. There's a C missing
oh, there's a
after.
C. Yeah. If you are saying that this is a type, and this should be a reference to of this type, and you are coming from a C background, I see no reason to use this.
That's literally what you do in C. You just move the asterisk that's after the
No, that's
type
not
to.
what I do in C. To exemplify, I'm going to use this documentation. This, the first argument of this function is an address. There's an ampersand.
That's how you take the address of a value, yes, but that's not how you say the type of the thing is a pointer.
Ah, I see. Okay, so instead of using the perspective of like this is an address, this is a type of an ad with like this value here is an address of this type. Zig prefers to call that this is a pointer of this type.
Now, pointer and address are more or less kind of
No, no, no. But in
interchangeable.
this particular granularity, this difference matters because now I can see a justification for this thing. Now I can see why the parallel is this thing instead of this thing.
Yeah, because the ampersand is the address of operator. You give it a value, and it returns you the address to that value. It's different from the type of the thing that it
No,
returns.
but that doesn't matter because you're defining the type system yourself. Imagine that you are the creator of Zig. You can do whatever the freak you want. That's the perspective that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about as Zig did because
But
it was already
Zig,
done. It's fine.
but Zig starts from C, as it takes C as the starting point, and it fixes the problems that it sees in C. And in C, when you say this is a pointer, you say type and then you say asterisk, which is inconsistent with the other modifiers for types. So to keep that to make that more consistent, it puts the asterisk before, but it's still the same notation that it got from C for types, for pointer types in particular.
Pointer types. Yeah, no, that's what I said. When I see this as a pointer, as I would in C, now I understand why this thing. But my immediate instinct was to say I want to use this as a reference, and reference for me are related to this thing, not this thing. Because you can use the same thing for dereferencing, specifically on the front, right? Specifically on the front. So that's why I was confused because to me I associate this with dereference and this with reference. But I can see now what you say because you're saying that if you have a function in C, such as function, and you would receive stuff that are pointers, you would
You
do
would,
like this, arguments,
yeah,
right?
because that asterisk. Traditionally, you put it next to the name of the value, but it's actually part of the type. It's a suffix.
Yeah, yeah. Zig took this and put it in on here,
Yeah,
and then swapped it again and added a column.
yeah, because it wants to have a single consistent syntax for type annotations, which, it actually comes from type theory, the colon. So that means that the name of the thing will come before the type, because Zig actually has some amount of type inference. So in some cases, the annotations are optional, which means that the type will come after the name, which is fine. It's a difference from C, a deliberate difference from C. Um,
Mm-hmm.
then the type itself,
No,
they
that I know.
could have kept the asterisk as a suffix, but my guess is that it's harder to parse that. So they moved it to the prefix position.
No, that makes total sense. But if you're gonna put things on a prefix in C, this is so unnatural. If it was here, okay, but the fact that you put it here, for me, this is like dereferencing immediately, immediately. But I need to get used to it. How do you print
Uh,
errors on this thing?
how do you print errors on this thing? Um,
Aha, that is what I want. So there is a log error.
there is, in fact.
Okay, so that's what we want. So you want log error there. Is that how you do that?
I'm not
No,
sure. Probably not actually,
no.
because error is actually a keyword.
Okay,
The
so that's how you do that. And this is this, right? And then you also need the node name. Yes. Does Zig inherit the one line no as curly brace free ifs and fors?
it does actually.
Okay. So that's basically the translation, right? This is correct, I believe. Actually, I don't know because this is also doing an assignment. What the heck is how does
You should
will
do
Zig
the
do this?
you should do the assignment before the if. Like, don't put an assignment in an expression
No,
because
yeah,
it's not
I
an
know,
expression.
I know. We are just following an example, bro. I know that you should not do that.
No, it's
Uh,
not a matter of should. It's actually that you can't do it like
oh,
that
so
in Zig.
Zig gets rid of that.
Yeah, if you expect to have an expression, when you try to make an assignment there, you have to explicitly start a block.
I believe this is the same as this.
It should be, probably. And actually, you may want to switch things around. So, like, define the node's name before the file descriptor.
Oh,
And
we
then you
want to do
can make,
this, and then we can just pick this and put it here.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then, since it's a file descriptor, you probably don't have to mutate it. So you can probably make it a constant, I would guess.
That's a little weird because usually file descriptors we are moving them around, but in this particular case it's fine.
Like, file descriptors are numbers, right?
Uh, they are pointers.
Uh, C file descriptor.
So then my question is, so how do you do that? We do var ec, and I'm gonna annotate this as a node, and I'm gonna say
Node.
that I'm calling the prepare connection. I'm gonna assume that's how you do that.
It's an AAC node, not an A node, because they have the C in front of node for whatever reason.
So then you pass here. I think
The
that's where
address,
you do that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then we
Shouldn't we return the file descriptor as well?
maybe we need to read the documentation. So is the Erlang port mapper daemon. Distributed Erlang nodes register with APMD on the local host to indicate to other nodes that they exist and they can accept connections. Maintains a register of node and port number information. When a node wishes to connect to another node, it first contacts EPMD to find the correct port number to connect to. Okay, so when you use this to connect to an Erlang node, a connection is first made to this, and if the node is known, a connection is then made to the. So this is like a proxy, right? So this guy is like
Sounds like it.
you talk to this, and this guy talks to the Erlang stuff. Okay. So C nodes can also register themselves in the PMD if they want other nodes in the system to be able to find and connect to them. Before registering, you must first create a Lyceum socket and bind it to a port. Um, I see. So we need a port. So I'm assuming that I can do something like, I don't know, 9,000.
Hello, Vinicius.
Your connection is a little weird, Marin. I think your microphone is weird. Hello, Vinicius.
No. It is weird.
Yeah, I think you should disconnect and connect again from the call. Marinho? Vinicius,
You can hear me.
now that you're here, do you have like the easiest tutorial to make a Erlang server? Because you're making the client right now, so you're following the documentation. Uh,
Yeah, basically,
no, not TCP. We are doing Erlang. What's the name? There is
uh,
a name.
basically, yeah,
Yes,
connecting nodes.
connecting nodes. Yes.
Yeah, basically, we want to bring up a node like in Erlang to a node that will be written in Zig.
There. Okay, now
Because
your
like
microphone is
Zig is
better.
gonna be the front end, and then we'll have the back end in Erlang.
Something that is not clear. Do we need to do the APMD in our, I think we do. Like, if this is a proxy, we can't run from it. We need to register.
Probably.
Pub is a file descriptor now connected to this. npmd monitors the other end of the connection. If it detects that the connection has been closed, the node becomes unregistered. So if you explicitly close the descriptor or if your node fails, it becomes unregistered from this. Uh, if a
Uh,
node has failed
create a
this
list.
way,
You need to create a list and socket and bind it to a port.
I mean, I okay. Let's just follow. It's fine. So after establishing a connection, I don't. But here's the thing: do we do the establish of a connection before or after? I think I have a feeling you should do this after. Marinho?
Yeah, it's. I'm not sure actually.
And of course, the name of this nonsense is pub. Let's put like this.
There is, in fact, a way to use pub as an identifier. There's a notation for that.
Sure. But
If you want,
yeah,
it's probably more.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And we also need this, right? Set cookie, node cookie. Yeah, no, we have the cookie already, Vinicius. Here's the things. Here are the things, right?
The cookie thing is probably something that we need to set up on the Erlang side.
No, we will, but that's a little bit later. We're still reading the tutorial here. Um, so it is still not clear when each to go come after the other. I suppose. Uh, Wait, but he's saying here, Marinho, that when you use a like connect to Erlang node, it does first this. So maybe we don't need to do it because, right? We are already using this. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
So maybe we
Vinicius.
don't need this.
Yeah, Vinicius. The thing is, this may be ill-advised, but we are reading the tutorial on how to make a C node because the front end will be written in Zig, and Zig um, has very good interoperation with C, so a lot of this will be very easily applicable. Um, but we haven't actually looked at how to set up the Erlang side of the equation.
Yeah,
So,
and I hope
this
it's
might
not hard.
this might be backwards, but that's what we're doing.
This seems bad. There's no code in here. I already dislike it, but sure. Let's continue here. So one of the following two functions to send messages. As in Erlang, messages can be sent to a PID or to a register name. It is easier to send a message to a register name, and it avoids the problem of finding a suitable PID. In theory, the Erlang side would just be giving the session a name and setting a cookie. And the C side should be able to call the connect functions. Yeah, that's exactly the plan. The problem is that this tutorial only gives code for the C side, which we are converting to Zig. And I would like to have some very simple Erlang code that I can just throw at a file, in a file, and just call the thing, and I'm done. I would very much like that. I would very much like that. Where is the here? Okay,
By the
so
way, Vinicius, I'm not sure if you saw the thumbnail for the previous session, um, but yeah, Erlang's logo is the letter E, and Zig's logo is the letter Z. This is easy.
Marinho loved that accidental coincidence.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun and cool, and I like it.
Okay, but here's the okay. So is this command line? Is this everything that we need, Vinicius? We just do it like that with a name. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we do already have the server. Amazing. Examples of sending messages. In the following example, PID hello world is sent to a registered process my server. That's very interesting. So is this the name that you're talking about? You should be able to connect to it if it has the same cookie. Ah, so is this the name? What I'm highlighting here? Or is this the cookie? I have no idea.
It sounds like that's probably a name because
No idea. Cool.
the cookie we use to establish the connection, right?
We're not gonna receive messages. No, but that's the thing, Marinho. Vinicius said that there is a name and a cookie. So it's like two things that you need. Which one of them
Uh,
is the my server?
Actually, we probably will receive messages, in
No, not
fact.
now. The Grug example for now is to send messages to the server,
Okay.
which is this thing here. So let's go. Send. I'm quite liking the syntax. Aside from this thing here, I'm quite liking it. So we're gonna receive
By the
this thing.
way, you mentioned that to you, asterisk name is a dereference, right?
Yeah,
That's not how you do dereferencing in Zig,
I
actually.
imagine. I imagine. What do I need? Do I need the EC? Yes, I do need the EC. Okay. So we're gonna pass as a pointer. So no C node, and this thing will probably do nothing. I'm so excited, man. At the point that we have this, that we have a way to exchange messages between the server and the client, we can finally start making the game with with Raylib and stuff. It's gonna be so much fun. This is a var.
Vinicius, Vinicius wrote, is the idea that the game frontend will be like a game running in a window that is also an Erlang VM that communicates with the server. Yeah, that's basically it.
I don't know about the Erlang VM.
I mean, it's going to be a node, an Erlang node written in Zig, and it will communicate using Erlang's native communication protocol
No,
to
but
the
my
backend.
understanding is that, well, maybe I am not understanding things correctly, but according to the link that, yes, C nodes. The client is a C node as far as the nomenclature goes, and the server is an Erlang node. That's my understanding. And the server is where we're gonna do the SQL stuff.
I mean, we could actually run an actual Erlang VM in the front end as well, but that seems a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, no, I think what Vinicius is saying is fair. Like it's not technically a VM, but there is a bunch of Erlang here because you're using an Erlang implementation functions, right? So all of this is Erlang
Yeah,
implementation.
for the
So
sake of posterity, Vinicius said, I think it's not a VM technically, but even then, you look like a fake Erlang VM to the other Erlang
oh, I
nodes.
don't think they will never ever know. I don't think they will care that we are a C quote unquote a C node instead of an Erlang node. I don't think they care, and they shouldn't. Anyway, so here's the thing. So this is a type. So I need a buff, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say that this is undefined. Then we have a function, and I'm gonna pass the buffer. Yes. Then I'm gonna call this function and this function, and this is also. But here's the catch. This thing doesn't ask for a reference, Marin.
Oh,
How do
it
you treat
doesn't.
that?
Now we can dereference the pointer.
How do you dereference the pointer?
You say EC dot asterisk.
Like this?
Yeah.
Ah, that's. Uh, I don't like it. I also don't like it. Ah, okay. All of this because they didn't want to parse the thing as a suffix. Yeah, I don't know. Seems
But
seems.
this is also consistent because the way you take a field of a structure is by using dot notation, right? You say the name of the structure and then you say dot and then you say the name of the field. And a pointer is kind of like a structure and the value that it references is kind of like a field. So
I hope you see the stretch that you're doing there. I really do. I really do
but
hope.
syntactically, this is actually very convenient because you can chain a bunch of dots and then just have a dot asterisk in the middle there somewhere if something in between is a
Oh.
pointer.
Okay, so I think
See?
you're right, Marinho. Oh, wait, I lost the final sentence. Could you repeat?
Yeah, this is actually very convenient because you can have a chain of dots, right? Which can be function calls or field access.
Oh
And
no, no, yeah, it seems convenient that you can chain them like that.
yeah,
But the argument that a pointer is kind of a struct is kind of a stretch. Nobody thinks it about that like that. We have a problem though.
we need
Uh,
to take the file descriptor as
we
an
need to
argument as well
return
then.
the sockfd, which kind of means that this is not anymore this. By the way, why do we need to put exclamation mark?
The exclamation mark tells the compiler that this may return an error as well.
Ah, so this is gonna be I32. Is that how you do that?
Uh, well, technically, it's just an I32 because there's no code path that actually returns an error, and in fact, we should probably return an error in the then branch in case the sockfd is less than 0. We're just printing out, right?
Yeah, so how do you return an error then?
say return, and then you say error dot, and you give it a label, which can be an arbitrary like symbol. You could
Uh,
say L underscore connect underscore failed. That works.
like this.
Yeah, don't forget the semicolon.
Okay, now we do need this.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Then though we have const sock f. I'm gonna just call it fd here, and this is an i32. And then we also need to pass this as a thing. So I'm gonna say it like that. So I have everything that I need, I think. This is already a pointer. So my server, I'm gonna assume this is the name. So here's the proposal. What about, well, let's first read what this does. So reg send, uh, reg send here. So an open description to an Erlang connection. The server name. So this is the name. So here's my proposal. What about extracting the name out of this guy?
Sure, we can do that.
So this is going to be ec that, and then the field that we have
You
absolutely no idea what's the name.
funny thing, even though it's very convenient that you can do dot asterisk dot whatever, you actually rarely need to do that because if you just say dot and if it's a pointer and you need to dereference it, the type system is smart enough to figure out that yeah, let's dereference this thing.
Ah, I don't know if I like that. That feels like automatic type promotion.
Or is it? I may be looking at it backwards. Am I? I don't know. I actually never played around with this corner case, to be honest.
Which corner case?
Yeah, let's keep the asterisk. It's probably more clear what we're doing.
Sure. Yeah, you're right, Vinicius. Here it is. And there we go. So here's the problem. It's saying that this is a server name, register name of the intended recipient. Can this be whatever? Can we put whatever in here? How does that work? Because we
Uh,
have some strings, right? We have a node name here and a node name here, and they are the same. By the way, they are fundamentally the same. So I would like to check. What the heck is this? Um,
wow.
wow.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't see the name though. Oh, no, no, no. This is not the stuff. We want this one. Opaque data type representing a C node. Okay, so you're not gonna tell me? Really?
It's opaque, apparently.
Um, can we check in here? So C node. Um, a C node. There. Thank you.
Yeah, but now you're digging into the implementation details.
Yeah, but I want to extract the name of it because I don't want to keep repeating myself and be able to have three different names out of nowhere.
You can make the name a local constant.
No, but
Just
that's what we
pass it.
did, which is bad. For now,
You
I'm
can
just
make
gonna
it
make
a
it global.
you can make it an argument, I guess.
No, but we have a struct. Why we want to keep passing it around if we have a struct that holds it? That's the purpose of a struct. Uh, so let's just say node name in here. So node name. And that's it. So what is Vinicius saying? A reg send third arg is called server name as well. So I guess you have to repeat it. Make a struct represent a node locally. And store the server name along with the EC, I guess. Okay, so Vinicius is proposing to make a wrapper. Should we
That will
make it a wrapper?
probably. I mean, we can. It will probably be more convenient in the long run, actually.
Let's make a record just to see how do you do that in Zig. So I'm gonna assume that Zig has structs.
It does, actually.
It has also anonymous struct literals. Mm-hmm.
It does have them as well.
So struct. Oh. Okay, so how do you do that? So there is a struct keyword, I see.
That's already wrong, by the way.
That's already wrong. So typing it down is wrong.
And no, what we actually want to do is say const and then the name of the struct,
Um,
name that you want to give the type.
uh, let's say Lyceum node. Sure. And then you do
Then you
like
say
this.
equals, no, and then you say equals because this is a binding like any other. And then you say struct, open curly brace, and then you put the stuff in the struct that you want to have.
So how do I make my fields? Can I have? Okay, first question. Can I have default values?
And you have default values. I think you can, if I recall correctly. The way you do it is you do name of the field, colon, the type, and the type is mandatory.
Um,
It's an
string.
EI. Oh, right, that's the no name. It's a string. Actually, we should probably make it. Should we? Because here's the thing. If I want to use a string for some reason, I would actually use a slice of U8 as the type. I'm not sure how that works with the C interop because I haven't played around with that too much.
Is this compiling and running already? No.
It's not.
We're gonna do it in one single shot.
Yeah, so you say, okay, node name, colon, type, and then you say comma. But optionally, before the comma, you can say equals and the default value.
Okay, so I'm gonna put. Actually, I'm gonna make like a default node name.
Comma, not semicolon.
Oh, comma.
Yeah.
Default. Okay. So these are the only two things that we care, I believe. No, we also have whatever this is. Identification number. And we also gonna have the cookie. And I'm gonna define a default cookie. And this is gonna be like, I don't know, this. And then we're gonna say cookie. And this is gonna be a string and the default cookie. Okay, that's cool. So how do I use it? So we also need the C node. So we're gonna say uh, yeah, C node. The type is this nonsense here, and there's no
Node.
initialization value.
Node, yeah, and there's no initialization value.
Yeah, cool.
Uh,
So question.
yeah.
I'm gonna do L node, and then I'm gonna say that this is L node, and then I'm gonna say undefined. Is it already like setting the fields correctly?
Uh, it's equals no actually because you're saying it's undefined.
Oh, so it doesn't obey me. So I'm putting default stuff, but it's not doing it. How do I ask to do it?
Well, you have to do. Well, first of all, if you want to actually initialize it properly, you need to define the things that are not that do not have default values. If you
Sure.
just say undefined for everything, you're literally saying here's an L node, but the entire thing is undefined. If you just want to make one thing undefined, you have to do. Oh, there's two ways of doing it. You can have, since you already have the type annotation, you can just do dot curly brace.
Wait a moment. Let's put these things here. Because later on, if this we have more code in the middle here, then these constants on the top will be make it easier. Port number. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so if you just want to have one thing undefined instead of the entire thing being undefined, what you do is you say, okay, dot curly brace, and then you know that initialization syntax that you said was Zolding syntax. That's
No,
basically how
no,
you
no.
do it.
I didn't say that. I said that I saw Zosing using it. That's what I said. So then I'm gonna do C nodes undefined, like that.
Yeah, and put a comma there as well, because if you don't and we run the formatter, it's going to put everything in one line.
Oh. Okay, so here's the deal. Can I do this? Or is it like this?
You have to do. That is a good question. This is why I don't like precedence tables. You have to refer to them constantly unless you memorize the entire thing, and it's really annoying. Uh,
Okay.
I think you can just do
Uh,
address off and then put the dots C node at the end.
address off.
Yeah, ampersand L node dot C node. That
Ah,
should work, I think.
like this?
Yeah.
Cool. So then we do that. And this we don't have. Creation is gonna do the other thing. For now, I'm not gonna put the creation inside the node. And then we're gonna return actually an L node, which means that this type is now wrong. We're gonna do L node. That means that this node here is now L node. We're gonna pass a reference to that to establish a connection. And this is a pointer to node.
Pointer to L node,
L
actually.
pointer to L node. That's true. And this is gonna be C node. And this is gonna be. This is also wrong. This is this, and this is this. Do we need to? I think we should we have the socket in here?
Should we have the socket in here?
I'm starting to think yes.
Maybe. That's inconvenient, so why not?
Uh, the why not is easy because this can get derailed fast. Uh, because we are basically making a gigantic state. I hope you noticed that. Um, that. So this actually does absolutely nothing because you're just gonna mutate the crap out of it. So how do I do that? Can I just say ecfd equals sockfd and that's it? Is that how you do that?
Yes, actually.
Okay. Okay, so then I do that. I don't need this anymore. And then we're gonna have send message. And send message receives a reference to the
The
node.
node.
And that's it actually. Because now we're gonna remove this thing. And then we're gonna say that this is a reference to L node. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. So we need to pass AC here. And this is not a pointer. Oh no, it is a pointer. Okay. So in that case, we need to do ac.cnode. Question.
Yeah.
We need a reference to a field of it, right?
Yeah.
And we have a reference to the entirety of the thing. How do you do it?
ampersand ec dot cnode.
Ampersand ec.cnode. Okay. So this is gonna be this and this. Is that it?
Uh, yeah.
Let's actually
Actually, I
also
remember.
put
Yeah.
go.
Actually, I remember now. You don't actually need technically the asterisk to take the file descriptor and the node name, because you see there's that C syntax with the arrow to grab the fields of a pointer to a struct, right?
Mhm.
But in Zig, that's literally just a dot. It's the same thing as if you didn't have a pointer but an actual struct, because
So it is doing
there's
a type promotion.
no, it's just doing an implicit dereference.
Yeah, which is this on the same bucket of type promotions to me.
Why?
Because it's something that I dislike, something implicit, and something that the developer should do it himself. That's
But
why.
the type already tells you that it's a pointer. If you're going to have to dereference it because it's a pointer, the type system knows that it's a pointer.
No, I'm not saying that the type system is dumb. I understand that we could clear the shit out of this. I'm saying that this implicit stuff bothers me to the point of making me mad about it. But anyway, if that's the way that Zig wants me to do it, I'm gonna complain about it, but I'm gonna do it. That's how
I
you
mean, you
learn.
can keep the asterisk if you want, but it's unnecessary.
Okay, but now we sent it, right? Now we send it. So my understanding now is that we can just load up a server in here and try to see if this compiles, and that's it.
It probably won't.
How confident? How freaking confident? So let's go. So Vinicius kindly provided the line.
It
Uh,
gave us a magic spell,
so
an
let's
incantation.
actually change the name of the server. So this is gonna be a I don't know Lyceum client at DRN. Uh, and that's not what I copy pasted there. So then we need the name, which is gonna be that. So Lyceum client.drn, and the cookie is gonna be Lyceum.
I'm pretty sure that the server and the client need to have different names, actually.
Okay, so this is server. Abort with whatever. Is this already
Yeah, in
running?
case I think it is.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Vinicius is the Chad, so I'm gonna believe him. So now it comes the real deal. So does this compile? That's the question. Um, there it is. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Already missing a semicolon. Line 19. Oh, you need to put a semicolon here, just like in C. Unexpected that. Where? Line 23? Yeah, so it's expected a comma. Just to be sure the cookie is right. Sure. Get cookie. There. Is this the correct? Did I type it right? Yep. Erlang. Uh, is that the cookie? Ouch. Ah. Okay.
Oh
While you
boy.
search for that, Vinicius, we're gonna fix the client for a moment. So apparently this is not the syntax, Marie.
This is
Oh,
not the same
maybe
case.
this.
Oh, no, I remember now. You need to put a dot before the C node and before the FD as well.
Oh, okay, so it's very similar to how you do in C. Awesome. So there is no string alias for whatever it is that. String type annotation Zig. How do you type annotate strings, bros? Oh, it's set cookie, according to Vinicius. Uh, Q. Okay, that's not how you do that. So I forgot. Mageta told me the command to to do it right. Spin Control C. No, but isn't that the way that I'm gonna have multiple processes running in my CPU? No. Okay, so I'm gonna believe Vinicius. Set cookie. Okay. So Erlang get cookie. There. Yes. Now it works. Thank you, Vinicius. Marinho, how do you type annotate strings, friend? I can do that in Objective C. I refuse to accept a reality in which Zig doesn't do it close.
Here's the thing. String is technically a pointer to an array of U8 that's no terminated.
Yes,
The problem is that in an array in Zig, the length of the array is part of the type as well.
sure. In that case,
So,
do we have anything that cannot be statically known? No, we always know. Yes, we always know.
so the Zig way of doing this is to use a slice of U8 instead of specifically a no terminated slice of U8. Um, Then there's a way to to take the pointer without the length from a slice.
But
And we can
that's not
pass that to
necessary.
C.
That's completely not necessary because we know the length at compile time,
We know the length if it's a string literal, that's true. But
which is
this is
our
not a string
case.
literal. But it's not a string literal. This is a struct constructor.
No, but we are using strings as default values in which we do know the name. We do know the length, sorry.
Okay, I guess we have to do some compile time metaprogramming then.
Fuck. No, okay,
No,
so
no,
forget about
I
it.
promise you this will be easy. Look, you just have to say, instead of string, you have to
Okay, I just
do.
want to point that out. Objective C1, Zig 0 on strings.
Yeah,
Come on.
But Objective C wraps strings in a. I'm not actually sure how large the object truly is, but whatever. Um, if you actually want to do that, you can do something like. Um, it goes in the type annotation, by the way.
Sure.
Let me see if I can recall it off the top of my head. I think you need to take the default. No. This is why it doesn't work. The problem is that we are going to assume that whatever string is going to be passed will be the same length as the default, which doesn't quite work actually.
Sure. So now what?
Um, can do something like this, I guess.
What in the balls is that, friend?
It's a slice of you wait and it's no terminated.
That's a weird notation, but okay. So that. Sure. Uh, Here's the error message.
Actually, that's not quite right. It needs to have a const in between the because it's read only, right? Like
Uh,
that.
oh, jeez. Okay. Um, yeah, they could have done better for strings, but okay.
Here's the thing.
Nothing is perfect, and that's fine.
Here's the thing. We can just pass the the raw pointer from a slice to a C function that expects a string, and as long as it's null terminated, and it is because it says so in the type, then we should be fine.
Okay, how do you read this stuff?
Oh, right. That's actually a C pointer to you wait. Um, okay, we can do that instead if you want. That's a weaker type, by the way, but
So then we
it's
just
what C
swap this
expects.
with C?
No, you have to replace the colon with an asterisk as well.
Oh, okay. Uh, the syntax started pretty strong. Now I don't really know how I feel about it.
That's because Zig has a lot of different pointer types with different constraints.
That doesn't explain the syntax yet. You can have many pointers as you may please. It's still wrong though, because we are saying that this is a read-only thing, and it is expecting a read and write thing, right?
Oh, I think I know why. You can't enforce that a pointer is read only on the C side.
No, that's true. Okay, so just remove the const, I guess.
Kinda sad, yeah.
Okay. Uh, sure. Okay, but now this thing doesn't work. You know what? Maybe for now, just keep these things in here. Um, we don't need to go with ideal of ideal code for now. So I'm gonna put 99. The fact that it has the full values like this is already a win. Uh, sure.
I, I think you can get rid of the. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get rid of the type annotations in that case.
Yeah, but it didn't fix it.
Uh,
You notice that?
yeah, remove the columns as well.
It didn't fix it still. Tuple field has a name. What?
Uh,
What? What do you
no.
mean? Uh, uh, Everything gangster until we need to manually specify the type of a string. I mean, uh,
That's just the thing. We have to specify the type in this case because we're interoperating with C. In
okay.
Zig, we just pass slices everywhere.
Yeah, but that's not solving the problem. Because the problem is that this doesn't match. Apparently, this is being inferred as this.
Which it is. Oh,
Uh,
right, because it's a pointer to a constant, so it's a read-only pointer to an array of 17 characters, and it's null terminated. But it expects to take a C pointer to U8, and a C pointer, as we already said, you cannot enforce it to be read-only,
yeah.
so the type doesn't match.
Yeah, but this is kind of weird because this should be this but read only, and I'm purposely annotating the type to be this. Why it's complaining?
Because you are discarding the read-only qualifier.
Yeah, I know, but something that you can read and write is including this thing.
The problem is that if you take something that's read-only and you give the ability to write, you are violating an expectation.
No,
The
it
thing is
doesn't.
immutable.
Okay, so Vinicius is suggesting to add const to this. I don't think that's gonna work because of what Marinho said. Here. Yeah, it doesn't work. You see, because this function that is coming from that we are using the Erlang C stuff. This function expects to have a read and write C string, and we are providing something that we know ahead of time that is only read. It is read only. You see the problem? Can't you make a mutable copy of it just to pass to the Erlang C API? That's an
Well,
option actually,
there is an
right?
option.
That is an option. So Marinho, how could we do that? What is the correct way of doing that?
Uh, you can say var, and then you can just dereference the string.
Oh
Oh,
jeez
but that doesn't
Louise.
quite work because it's a C pointer, so we don't know the length ahead of time.
From the line 35 definition, does it still complain? Yes, it's still complain. I just added this modifier here in line 36.
C pointers are annoying.
I would say that uh, this is weird. Like if they already know ahead of time that you cannot enforce stuff on the from the C side, why does Zig stuff is complaining then? If they already knew from the start that this would happen.
Because this is a type violation, right? You said that node name is an immutable pointer, and you are passing it to a C function, and remember, on the C function side, we can't enforce that the pointer will be, in fact, only read and not written to.
No, yeah, I understand that. But my understanding, which is still the previous understanding, is that it can infer that this is a constant, which is fine. But if I am explicitly telling it that I do not care about what is being inferring, and I want it to be this, why is it still complaining? That's what I don't understand.
Because string literals are immutable.
Ah, that's why. So they are immutable by default, and you cannot um, make them mutable, I guess.
What you can do is say, okay, a cookie is actually an array and it's mutable. Um, that's a thing you can do. Because an array and a pointer to an array are different in Zig. Um, Instead of putting a string literal, you can create a slice from some helper function. That's an option. It's an option. The problem of making this an array is that then we will have to say give a hard limit to its length.
Man, strings. Ah, they could have done better on this. Come on. Come on, people. Come on.
Yeah, Vinicius, the problem with having a helper that creates a mutable slice from an immutable one is that you have to copy, which means you have to allocate memory somewhere on the stack or the heap or whatever.
Yeah. And not that we care, because you know, Vinicius, that we don't. But Marinho does a little bit.
And the language does care a lot, actually.
It's literally a 10 byte string. Yeah,
The
that's
problem is
fair.
that as no, Vinicius, the problem with slices in particular is that because with a slice the length is runtime known, that means that you can't statically allocate, which means you can't use the stack to allocate, which means you have to do a heap allocation if you want to be general.
But how do you solve this then, Marinho? Because we cannot say that this should be CU weight. This needs to be a const because the strings are immutable. But then we don't want to incur on the cost of doing a clone to make this mutable.
We can allocate it on the stack, I guess, that's an option. It's slightly more annoying, but it's doable.
Okay, can you give me the example here? So because I want to see this working. Have you tried the thing on the Reddit post I was using to copy? No, I did. I haven't actually. So the Reddit post is talking about doing this, which I still have no idea what it means. So this is how you copy apparently. Wait, is this how you copy? Isn't this how you dereference?
Well, yes, it is a dereference. But by dereferencing, you're basically saying, okay, I'm going to where the pointer is pointing to. I'm grabbing the data from there and putting it in this variable here. That's effectively a copy.
I see. So in this case, I can just do this because it has an implicit shit, and then I can just put something like name, and then pass the name here.
Uh, no, that still doesn't work actually.
Really?
Because you're taking a copy of a pointer, but the pointer is still read-only, which means the copy is also read-only.
So in this case, I do need this. What does that mean?
That doesn't quite work either, I think. I mean, it might, but I'm not sure.
Oh!
Because,
Oh no,
yeah,
wait.
you forgot to take the address of the name instead of just passing the name.
Oh, that's true. Wait, I'm getting lost. Oh, here. Error is ignored. Oh, so it's asking me to treat it, is that it?
Yeah, the function can return an error. We're ignoring the error. Zig doesn't let us do that.
Okay, so error handling in Zig. Handling in Zig. Just for me to understand, in this particular implementation here, we are allocating these on the stack, right?
Yeah, we should be.
Sure. Okay. So how do you do the error handling in Zig?
Uh, there's the
Oh, there's a
very
try.
Yeah, there is a try, but it doesn't quite do what you would expect from Java or other similar languages that have exceptions because Zig doesn't actually have exceptions.
Oh, there's a is this the defer that you mentioned?
Yeah, there are two versions of defer. There's defer, which runs no matter what, and there's defer, which only runs if there's an error returned.
This is what we want, right? So we want to do like try this thing and then error defer on it.
We don't have to do error defer actually, because if we try, that means that if we get an error, we return the error to the caller, and since this is the main function, that means we just exit.
No, for that's completely fine for now. Um, okay, so we have a few type problems. So error is ignored. Oh, we don't have an error here, friend. Sure. Okay, so next up, how do you convert an I64 to a CUint? I don't know if there is a
Um,
good way of doing that.
I64 to a CUint. There are a few options actually. First of all, this is a CUint, and there's a note there. See the notes below.
There's a note. Unsigned 32-bit int cannot represent all possible signed 64 values. Sure.
Uh, yeah, so there are a few options. Because the CUint is smaller than an I64, we will have to truncate it. That's one thing. And we also, because it's an unsigned type and we have a signed number, we have to get rid of the sign somehow.
Sure.
Because we're going to truncate it anyways, my suggestion is to just do a bitcast to get rid of the signedness and then truncate.
Okay, what is the idiomatic way of doing that?
Let's see, creation is a nice 64, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
You can do something like this. Have the const creation, right, already defined, so you can do um,
Yeah, that GIF is good though. Vinicius.
yeah, that's a very nice GIF that Vinicius posted.
So nice. And thank you for being here with us, Vinicius. And I hope you're liking it. This people learning how to attempt to make a client for an Erlang server. And this is only half of the battle, right? We still need to make the server like also send messages and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you can do something like this. Um,
Uh, Jeez. Okay. So let's see what the heck you're doing there. So creation. Ooh.
yeah, I'm doing a bitcast,
So
and
there's
a
no
bit
composition in Zig.
there is, but I'm laying out the steps just so you can see what's going on a little better. So a bitcast means I have a value of a type. I want to treat it of a value of another type that has the same size. So I'm basically saying reinterpret those bits
Mhm.
to be a value of that other type,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And and this constraint that the source and the target types have the same size is statically enforced. Okay.
Yes.
And then truncate says, okay, I have an unsigned number. It has a type with a very large size, and I want to fit it in a smaller space. So I'm going to basically do a modulo.
Yeah. But
So
how do
I
you compose? Sorry. I want to know how imperative languages do the composition. Aside from copying, aside from C++ copying this from F sharp, aside from doing that.
um, there's no pipelining. So what you have to do would be something like this, and this is gonna be a little bit ugly. So
Oh. Oh man. Come
if you
on.
don't want to have the intermediate values, you can do something like this. S C U int. Uh,
Are you gonna put a bunch of parentheses like
yes,
ah
my Lisp will be showing.
come on Marinho, that's not composition.
Oh, it
And
is. You're taking the output of a function and passing it to another function.
yeah, that's still not how if you search uh composition mathematics.
Oh, you mean the actual higher order function
Yeah,
builder thing?
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a thing because you would have to allocate a closure in the general case, and that's an implicit allocation, and that's a no-no in Zig.
Okay, so it's still like come on, come on.
Yeah, so
I'm
you would have to
sad.
do something like this. Um,
I'm already sad. Uh, so there is something wrong. Value of C int ignored. What?
yeah, if you ignore a value, you have to explicitly discard it. That's a thing.
If I ignore a value,
Yeah,
all non-void values must be used. The zero can be suppressed by assigning the value to this. But who exactly? Oh, you need to do this? That?
underscore equals. Yeah, you do.
Ah, okay. I don't know if I like that piece of syntax. Value of C int ignored. So there is a. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that many times.
You would have to do something like this if you didn't want the intermediate names.
Yeah, it's just as ugly as I imagined. Thank you, Marie. That. Uh, there's still an error, which is that expected that nonsense and found that other nonsense. So now the question is, what is wrong? Ah, boy, oh boy.
Oh, right. We are dereferencing the DL
Oh,
DL
okay. We need
node.
to do L EC that and then C node.
Node. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a field, so I can just do this. Yes. Okay. So it is no, it is expecting. Wait, what is this?
You need to take the address of that as well.
I don't
It
think I
takes a
need. I want to.
pointer.
I don't need to. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's not an address thing. Okay, so we change the type signature of that then, because it's not an address. It is for sure a value, as you can see in here.
It could be a mistake in the source code. It wouldn't be the first time.
Fair enough. Come on, Vinicius, with the open source. Fix the Erlang documentation. We found 3 errors today. Uh,
You can look at the header file, and the header file has the canonical type
no,
signature.
we
So
need to do the same nonsense as before. So this thing, name, and which errors?
address of name
And I don't know. I don't know. Oh,
compiled.
yeah, that doesn't mean much. This is a very low level, safer, but it's probably still not the safest language ever. So now
I
what we need to
mean,
do?
actually, if this was pure Zig, that's actually a pretty good indication that it does something at least and doesn't break.
It does
But
something.
because we're calling into C, yeah, it might break because we're calling into C. But that's because we're calling into C.
Okay, I didn't listen. Sorry. People entered my room.
Yeah, if this was pure Zig, then the fact that it compiles should tell you that it doesn't break. It may have bugs, but it shouldn't break. Because we're calling a C library, the standard caveats about C codes do apply.
Okay, so it doesn't mean very much. So then now the question is, we have the server, which apparently is already running, right?
Yeah,
And now the question is, if we run it, right? Because we have an executable here. Yeah.
yeah.
If we run it, are we going to connect to the server?
We should, I think.
Failed. The first error that we could possibly get happened. So prepare for the connection. So where is the if? Yeah, it is in here. So this thing failed miserably.
It
So I have a
failed.
question.
Yeah,
Our names of the two nodes are different, right? So the server has this name and the client has this other different name. Should those be the same name or only the cookie matters?
uh, I would guess, and Vinicius corrects me if I'm wrong, they should be different because a name for a node identifies that particular node, and I wouldn't expect to be able to have two nodes sharing a name. That would be silly.
That makes sense, but it doesn't work. Nodes can share a name. Yeah, that's the thing, but what is wrong then? That is the thing. If that's the case, what is wrong?
The call to was it the
This
call
thing
to
is failing.
connect init? Yeah, the call to that function is failing. It's returning -1.
Is there an error message? Sort of.
There is from the Zig code, but there isn't any from C.
I have a
So
question though. When we launched the server, we didn't care about the port and stuff like that. Should we care?
we might have to actually.
Ah, okay. So Erlang server example. Okay, simple Erlang stuff. And that doesn't use a port at all. That doesn't use a port at all. So how do you do that? So Erlang server ports. Oh, this is the one that we followed last time. Try
Using
using port
ports.
4369. Why? It's the
Oh,
default. Sure. So let's compile that again. Nope. Same place that it failed in the same place. And the server is not showing anything different.
Isn't it nice that we actually have a nice error message instead of just blowing up and being in the dark?
I would say that this is not a nice error message. This is actually the opposite of a nice error message because we don't know actually what went wrong.
Well, what went wrong is we called the C function. It was supposed to return an integer, but it returned -1 because it failed. That's what went wrong. That's very clear.
Um, no, not really. Those are the inputs that managed to produce an error. But what happened? We have absolutely no idea because it's all encapsulated in this single function call, and we have
Yes,
no idea what's the problem.
yes, but that's a C function. The
No,
Zig
no, I
side of the
understand.
error is very clear.
Uh,
But yeah, error handling in C, annoying. Actually, error handling in general is annoying, but in C it's especially annoying.
yeah, but you see what sucks is the fact that we don't know if this error out or not, right? Maybe we should check for that first. Maybe the initialization got broken primarily, and then everything else went to shit after that.
Sure, we should do that actually.
Try this one. Okay, so what happens if this fails? Let's read. Oh, these functions return a
Return
negative value
negative.
indicating that an error occurred.
Okay, so every time we call a function, we should check if the value is negative, and if it is, we return a Zig error. And
Is a return
then
of this function a var or a const? Or doesn't matter?
we can make it a const.
So this is going to be result. And let's say something like if result
Result is less
less
than
than
0.
0, we're going to do return
Return
error
error
a
dot.
connect init failed. There. That means that we need to do this, and that
Yeah.
also means that we need to do
Hi.
this. No! So
Huh.
the the connect init worked, apparently. The only thing
Apparently,
that
yeah.
didn't work is the is to make the socket stuff.
Okay.
Try this one. It takes a port as well. E connect host port. Sure. E connect host port, and then we pass
Uh,
EC
Agata just
port.
said he got home, and it's 9:37 Lemos.
Yeah, yeah, I know I should go. Oh, fuck me. Okay, we need to we need to do the same nonsense that we did before. Um, that makes me really, really sad. But okay, so let's go. Um, so it's complaining that we have a pointer to an i32, but we should expect a C int. So my understanding is that this is just a matter of a cast. We need to truncate that, and this is gonna
A
be
pointer
like
to an I-32
a C
isn't
port, and this is gonna be a
actually
C int,
actually
and this should be E that that that, and then we use that in here. C port or something like that.
that does work.
Yeah, but now I wonder if I could have just done this. Ah, no, I could. So it was a value, not a pointer. Cool. There. Connect failed. Still.
Still
Uh,
failed.
so that's not it, Vinicius. How's the Erlang node? Doing nothing. Its name is this.
Maybe we need a separate server name because like the C node needs to have a name, right?
Can you try setting name just to Lyceum server? Oh, you think it's a special character thing? That's hilarious. Sure. Um, no? Oh, maybe I also need to remove it from here then, if you think it's that. I think if you set a special shard, it becomes a qualified node. That's weird, but that didn't solve it. Perhaps even only on the client. Oh, you need to do at localhost? Let's see. No?
Still nothing. Um, hmm.
Something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Ooh, maybe that's related. Yeah, the cookie is right in both. It's both Lyci and I always forget how to pronounce this, but it's like Lycium or something like that. Lycium? I think it's
Lyceum.
Lycium. There's a catch here, Mani. Making the Zig.
Yeah.
Uh, because you see that we are including this file here, right?
We are, yeah.
But in compilation we aren't,
But we are grabbing the libs from
which are not
the store.
necessarily the same version between what I have in the header there and the header that is in this include thing.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because
We're
this
taking
I
them.
grabbed out of the internet. Oh no, this is I didn't grab this out of the internet. I did a copy from the Nix store, so never mind. Never mind.
No, but look, because you are taking the C include, you can probably even delete that copy that you made, and it should still compile actually.
No, that's
Because you
fine.
are
I copied the
because
first in the beginning because I thought we would use the Zig version out of it, but we were not. We will not use. So now what is wrong? Is Erlang
first
a
of all,
lie also?
do another Zig build now that you deleted that file, just to make sure that we didn't break the compilation.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
We didn't.
Still doesn't work. What's up with those names though?
And that's the
Nixo.
name of your machine according to your shell.
Yeah, but should I put this at only on the client or in both, Vinicius? No, on the client. Yeah, on the client I did. It did nothing. Or setting port manually. But we are setting the port manually. Oh, you mean on the server? Okay, let's try that. So port 4369. Okay, so we did that. Nope, nothing at all. Why? That's weird. At least it's not the Zig code though. That's progress.
Yes, Zig is, I don't know, it's surprisingly pleasant for a language that comes from the C tradition.
Well,
Like,
the string
compared,
seems to be bad, and the implicit thing is not my cup of tea, but it seems to be cool. Like I'm like writing it. This is also kind of sus, but
well, you have a function, it returns a value, you are ignoring it. You can't implicitly ignore it in Zig for whatever reason. I also think it's weird, but that's how it is, I guess.
uh, I understand you being able to do it. That's fine, but the default being in this is kind of weird. Uh, okay, but we don't. Are we out of ideas? We don't know how to make this. Come on, people. We are not that stupid. I understand that we are stupid, but not that stupid. Uh, are we missing something from the C code maybe? I don't think we are. I really don't think we are. Maybe the nonsense is acquired, Marin. Have you thought about that?
Why would it be?
Like this thing and this thing? I have no idea why, but maybe. Just maybe. Do we need to do the APMD ourselves maybe? So maybe this is misleading. And if we use this, it will not automatically do the APMD. What do you think about that?
Before registering, you must first create a listen socket and bind it to a port. Are we doing that? I think we are, right?
No, we are not doing this because we assumed that because you're using this, this is already being done for us. No, but here's the thing, Vinicius. The documentation says that the C nodes also need to register themselves in this thing. And we assumed that because you're using this connect thing, uh, if they want to be found. Oh, okay, I see. So Vinicius is saying that this is only if you want them to be discoverable. But we don't care at all about that. Um, I guess.
Mm, yeah, like because this is basically going to be like an MMO, client will talk to the server, then the server needs to be able to reply, but the server doesn't need to initiate a connection to the client necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so. I always think it's the other way around. Okay, so it seems to me that we are stuck. Nobody knows what's wrong. It seems to me.
Yeah,
We we did a step that maybe we shouldn't have, which is that we went straight up to the Zig version of the code instead of doing everything as the tutorial mandates. But I really don't think this is the issue. I really don't.
I mean, we could try doing this the C way, and Zig is in fact a C compiler. And we do have GCC if we prefer that, but
Another
yeah, I
thing,
don't.
the my server. This should not be this, bros. This thing. This is the name of the
Yeah,
client. We want this to be server name.
do we have a
Uh,
server name already?
no, we don't have a server name. Well, we do have a server name, but not in this file. But I'm gonna make one right now. So I'm gonna pick server name, and I'm gonna put const server name uh, Lyceum server.
I
There
think
we
you can
go.
just pass the string directly, probably. Oh wait, no, you can't because yeah, no, you can't because
Why is it trying to connect to Lyceum client instead of Lyceum server?
yeah,
Where?
because we were
Where?
passing the
Oh, you mean here on the top? Here? Yeah. Okay, so Vinicius is pretty much saying that this is dumb. Sure. So in that case, could we do this? Oh, okay, so now it's broken. And line 47. So this didn't work actually. Okay, so how do you convert a constant string, compile time, whatever the crap? My question is that Lyceum node refers to the client. I thought it referred to the Erlang server. No, 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 no. This is the name we were. Yeah, this is kind of dumb. We were referring to ourselves, basically. A question to you, Marin. Do you
you have
see
to
that?
take the address. You have to take the address of the name when you pass it.
I don't think that's the what's asking for it, but let's try. Maybe it is. Awesome. I was hopeful. I was hopeful. Okay, but let's actually try that again. Let's actually read which places are we doing the connection problem thing. So when we do the connection, we need to pass informations about the client. So I think this is correct. This should be the name of the client, the node name, because this is the connect init. So I think this is
Here's the
correct.
okay. Here's the thing, though. Won't we run into the problem of name collision between the clients if the name is just a constant?
Name collision if the client. What?
Yeah, because if we say, okay, I'm the Lyceum client, I'm going to connect to the server, and then another player says, oh,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
play
That's
some
future
Lyceum.
problems. That's future problems. We're gonna fix that. That's fine. But today we have only one player in one server.
Okay.
Let's continue with this thread of thought though, because I think this is the correct one. So the name here should be the client one. Agree?
Yeah.
The name here should be the server one because this is the one that we are trying to connect to.
Okay.
Fine. Uh, this one, where is this one? This one should be the server also because this is allowing the server with this name to give you a reply, right?
Right.
And that's it. There's no more names. So what is wrong? I have no idea.
Mm, maybe
4369.
maybe the strings have to remain in scope.
Perhaps server name. So now Vinicius is proposing to do this. Sure. Uh, Nix. What do you mean the strings
Maybe
in scope, Mari?
like because you're making a copy, a mutable copy of the string, right?
Yeah.
Then you're taking the address of that and passing it to the initialization code,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
But that
in which case?
means
You mean this one or this one?
both cases, both cases. The problem is that when the function returns, that address will be invalidated because the stack frame will be destroyed, right?
This error reporting is awesome. Yeah, it's bad, but there's nothing else we can do about it. It's
Yeah, we're
returning minus
calling
one. Good luck with that.
Oh,
Hello, Magenta.
Hello, Magenta.
oh. Let's see what's happening here. You're doing Zig now.
Yeah,
And we're calling C code.
yeah. No,
So I have an idea.
continue, Marinho. Continue. I think you are right in some sense. Like when this scopes finish it, is done, this address is gonna be invalidated and something bad is happening.
Yeah, it could be that Erlang expects that pointer to remain valid while the connection is alive,
Sure,
in which case we are violating its assumption.
sure.
And I have an idea, possibly, for how to maybe get around that, but it's kind of. It's not a good idea, let me put it like that.
It's not a good idea.
But it's an idea, anyways. Um, we could forcibly cast the pointer to be mutable, even though it's pointing to read-only memory. There is a very verbose way of doing that, because of course this is low-level code, you can do anything, right?
Sure.
Let me see. Let me see. Uh,
Just so I can revisit the architecture. So we have an Erlang server, right? A node,
Which is here.
and then right, it is running already.
Yeah.
I suppose, right? And then we want to contact that with Zig.
Yeah. And there's documentation right here
Okay,
on how
and
to do
then
that.
in the Erlang terms.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
we
So
are.
any client that can interface with the Erlang API, right? The Erl H
Yeah.
EI, I
So we
think,
just
right?
did the sending though. Well, we need to implement the receiving later. Like this is receiving. We need to implement this. But we only
I'm
did
wondering
this.
here, though, what if we want, like, imagine hypothetically, we want to work with a client language that doesn't, that like you can't just spawn a like you can just use the EI, right? The Erlang interface.
Mm-hmm.
How can we just connect? Can we just send anything at all to to the Lyceum server
Without
Nix
using
at NixOS?
HTTP, given this documentation, I found,
Just by HTTP, right?
yeah, I think this is very hard to believe that if you don't have FFI with C, and if for some reason you cannot use TCP or whatever, then I don't think you can. I think you need
I
this
mean,
layer here.
you can. I mean, you can probably do a TCP connection somehow, but yeah, we would have to do our own parsing if we did that. And Magetta doesn't like parsing, so
Yeah, but
I'm just fed up with
yeah,
parsing.
here we are completely relying, Magetta, on this built-in. Which, by the way, Magetta, I have a task for you. You need to put this in the flake. All of this.
okay. So it's less
Oh,
verbose than I thought it would be. I posted a link in the chat.
Okay, let me open.
can you paste this on a
Yes,
make file for now? By the way, so you
I
can
can.
replace
Uh,
or paste it on Discord. It also
yeah, I'm gonna
works.
paste on the channel there, so I'm not gonna lose this. But I think
We
you
should.
know what to do, right? Because this is basically the same thing
Yeah,
we did for Chime, but for Zig.
yeah. It's just see how.
It should set a goal to eventually make this work with the Zig build system, because Zig actually has a build system and it doesn't rely on make.
Sure. The problem is the how to get the paths from the Nix store. But I think we could use the Zig build system. Maybe there is even like a Zig to Nix. Oh, there is actually. There is even a discourse here. Okay, I can check this out later. So, Marinho, continue. So you're talking about this const cast thing, right?
Yeah, it basically
Oh, let
does
me
what
explain
it
to
says.
Magetta the problem first. So, Magetta, uh,
Hmm.
this function apparently works because this thing returns a -1 if this fails, and we are not receiving this error. We are, however, receiving this error, which basically means that this connect host port thing
Hmm.
is not working.
I see.
And then Marinho's hypothesis is that passing this
Is the
address
name?
is getting,
Mhm.
when we close the scope, this is getting invalidated, and then maybe this
Right.
is a
I see.
premise of Erlang. Go on, Marin.
So yeah, you can call this const cast, and all it does is say, okay, I have a pointer, it's read only. I know what I'm doing. Get rid of the read only qualifier and pass it to C because C, you know, it's C.
Yeah, but what do I put in here? So any value, any type, and this type.
You just put the pointer there, the
Where?
actual the name. The name is, well, the server name actually.
The server name in the value. So here.
No, server name is the value that we're going to pass to the constcast. It's kind of like a normal function. It has the at sign at the front, but it's really just like a function call.
So the type of this, as far as I remember, is something like
It will be the same. Yeah, it expects to be passed.
C
No,
const.
no, you don't have. This is a function call, not a function definition. You don't need the type there annotation.
Ah, okay. So what do? But this is a. I need to put a type in here, right?
No, you don't. Do you put a type when you call a function? You
Yeah,
don't.
but what is the meaning of this boilerplate then? We have a value, and what do I put in
That's
here?
a that's literally a function signature.
Ah, okay. So this is just this, and then I put the type that I want at the end.
No, you just put it in a context that expects whatever type, and if the type matches, um, no, you have to. This is an expression. You have to put it. You know where you're passing the address of the name to the EI connect host part function.
Yeah.
That's where that expression goes.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna get used to that. Here?
Yes, and then you get rid of the name line because that's an unused variable, and this should do something, maybe, possibly.
No,
Mm. And we
exactly the
have
same problem.
no, and we probably have to do the same thing.
With
Where
this
else are
one?
we passing? Yes. Yeah, maybe.
But do we need to do it again, or is it when you do it once, it's already done for the
You have
entire
to do
job?
it again. It's an expression. It basically says, okay, I have a value. It's a pointer type. It's a pointer value, and it's a pointer to a constant. And I turn it into a pointer to something that's not constant. And if you misuse that, that's on you.
Sure. Okay, so this is basically an ad hoc casting.
Yes,
Ah,
Zig has a lot of casting built-ins, but they are much more explicit than casting in C.
I see. Okay, but if that's the case, wouldn't that also be the case with the buffer? Because like the buffer, we are utilizing it many, many times in here, and once this is done, right? Oh, but you're not reaching here. I'm stupid. We are erroring out here.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Mm,
what?
now what indeed? Um, I'm not sure. I ran out of ideas.
This this worked because this if is not being triggered. We are reading this right? Yeah, this is connect failed. This is not connect init failed. So it is the
Connect
second
failed.
one. So this is succeeding somehow. I have no idea how. Let's take a look on this connect host port as the final move for today. Connect host port. So you pass the pointer of the C stuff, you pass the host name, and then you pass the integer as the port. Uh, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, right? We're passing an address here, then we're passing a string with the host name, which is this, and then we are passing the port, which is the same port that I'm running here, 4369. 4369. Yep, I have no idea.
Mm,
Can you spawn the observer on Erlang?
Spawn what on Erlang?
Observer colon start.
No, but this is not a rebar 3 shell. So this is not utilizing our code, Magita. This is using
Oh,
this
it
thing.
doesn't matter. It
it's
doesn't
basically
matter.
just a shim to test the connection if it works or not.
Server. What did Magita ask?
No, observer start.
Observer start. Like this?
Mm-hmm. Go to the processes. Let's see. We can specify the PID. Ports. Open there.
Ports. Am I
No,
blind? Oh, here.
on the right. Yeah. So you're trying to connect to which one?
4369. Which is not
It
appearing
will
here.
map to a, as far as I understand, it will map to a local Unix port, right? And then that port is connected to the bean thingy. Yeah, they don't map to the system ports. But I just want to see what is open. You see, that's what I wanted to see. Do you recognize any of these things? I don't know what is that Nix store, but I think it's the thing you ran on the terminal, right?
Maybe, potentially, I don't know.
Can you expand the controls and see what is written?
Um,
Erlang. Okay.
yeah,
I don't like it.
it's using the probably the binary in the Nix's store.
Right. Uh,
So
where was I? I want to see the. Is it the charts? I don't remember. What is it? Vinicius is saying. Ideally, you would start another Erlang node on the shell and try to connect both
both as
first
a
at
first
test. Yeah,
test.
that's a good test.
That's
That's a
fine.
good
We
test.
can try that.
Because
So
maybe it's not
links.
even running, right? And then we're trying to connect.
Yeah, maybe. So how do I need to change the thing, or how does that work?
Just change the port. Put another one.
Oops. Put another port like
Oh, and
this.
the name. And the
Oh,
name
the
as
name.
well.
Yeah. So this is gonna be server 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
This is typing. Uh, net kernel. Okay, Vinicius just said how
Oh,
to
but then
connect, but
that's
that's it.
here, right? So
Yeah, that's
connect.
inside Erlang.
Uh,
And then you pass the
do I need to put
Lyceum.
that in double quotes or whatever?
No, that's
Undefined
just an atom,
function.
so probably
Nerd
comment.
kernel. Did I copy?
Can you do net underscore kernel and then see if it completes?
Uh, you were asking for kernel.
Erlangiru net kernel. Oh, it is right, the function.
Yeah, no, but there's no connect in here.
There's connect node.
Yes, there's connect node and then you pass the node. I think that's it.
Where is connect node? Am I
Establishes a
blind?
connection to a node.
I think I'm blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's connect underscore node. Second column, third item from the top.
Oh, okay. And then I put what in here? The name again?
The same thing. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Server NixOS. True.
It did. So it is working.
Okay, but then we should be able to see it in here, right?
Look at the load charts, maybe. I want to see the applications
Oh,
there. So let's see. See if there is any net thingy on the kernel.
net here.
Lots of garbage there. That's the supervisor. Net kernel there.
Net kernel. Sorry, where?
Down, down. Right?
Here.
Yeah. So it has that thing connected to it.
Uh, couldn't
Vinicius
I
is
be able
sending
to check the
you.
name of this node though?
That's what oh, there it is. Look
Where?
there on the state. There, state.
State. State. No, no, but this is the state of our node. I want to know the server 2
Oh,
stuff.
the targets, right? So I think you need to go either on the port or
Yeah,
Vinicius is saying
Vinicius.
Erlang nodes. It should
Yeah,
show. So that's a function. Like
This one
type
is new.
yeah.
Erlang. Wasn't it already there? I think
No,
it was.
no. No, because it is the first one with 4 digits here.
Oh, anyway, just type on the terminal Erlang on colon nodes.
Uh, oh shit.
Just
Wait,
enter
enter, and then Erlang nodes.
nodes.
Server 2.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so that confirms that there must be a problem in here, right? In the Zig one.
Yes. So, can you make a busy? I'm thinking here, like that you guys guessed that the function is dying, right? Uh,
No,
like
the
the function
pointer,
dies and then the scope of the thing
yes.
dies.
Yeah, the address is being validated, but this black magic thing here should have fixed that. And I
Yes,
have bad
because
news though. So I need to. I'm gonna finish the recording,